Hello everybody, this is Bob. I'm reporting from Chiang Mai, Thailand today. It's 60 degrees, the humidity is relative, and the weather is outside. I hope you're enjoying your weather. It'll probably warm up to about 82 or 3 today. And we've got what they call the 7 deadly days going on right now. Thailand is kind of heavy on the carnage when it comes to traffic fatalities and accidents during this particular period that starts before New Year's and ends on the 4th or 5th day of January. So they're about 28% ahead of the numbers they produced for this period last year. And of course, that's a bad thing, and they're saying that drunken drivers are the primary cause of the carnage. Motorcyclists do the worst of all. Their numbers are like 80% of the fatalities weren't even wearing a helmet, and a good percentage of them were intoxicated. So there was supposed to be a big safety program this year, but it doesn't seem to have done much good in terms of effectiveness. But we're hoping everybody that got hurt is doing better now. We're hoping that all of our subscribers and listeners and casual interlopers are all doing well and non-COVID. But Thailand, after having done really brilliantly for quite a while, is having a problem with COVID now. It's primarily because of immigrants from Burma and a fish market that's in the southwest of Bangkok. Bangkok has actually gone into something of a shutdown at this point, and they've got all the entertainment venues and massage parlors and non-critical businesses shut down there, and they just didn't celebrate New Year's, which was a pretty strong lockdown. Pattaya and Phuket are also in various stages of lockdown and didn't have New Year's celebrations. But Chiang Mai decided to have New Year's celebrations, and although it was somewhat limited, there was 10 or 15 minutes worth of firecrackers at midnight. By the way, it's January 2nd is the day that I'm recording this on. Now at this time, I think we've had 2 more deaths, and we're getting around 100 inbound cases. Some of them are jumped in the border in Myanmar, Burma. Wait a second. That was probably a scooter so small it couldn't outrun an angry dog, but they need to have a loud muffler. Okay. Now it's January 3rd, and I noticed during the day yesterday that quite a bit of the numbers being published at various sites, and even sometimes in the same news release, they are simply not the same numbers. So what I decided to do was go back 24 hours later and go to the same source, and compare yesterday to today. Right now it's January 3rd for me. I'm not living in the future. I'm just 12 hours ahead of the way the international dateline works. So if it's noon for me, it's midnight yesterday for people in the States. And it's usually, I think, about 5 or 6 hours into Europe and the Middle East. So, as you can see, this shows that there is some growth. The numbers are not as bad as yesterday, but it's also the weekend, so you can also cast just a bit of doubt on exactly everybody having their homework in on time. Nevertheless, I thought it was worth inserting this clip in to show you some perspective from day to day. Down south, and for you Nulek fans, they've got an outbreak in a shoe factory in the area she lives in, so of course she's very concerned about that. They're real excited because her oldest son just bought a new house and it's really nice. So they're spending a lot of time over there and away from the crowds in town, but Newlick has to take public transportation, and she's nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs right now. And that's appropriate. The more concerned you are, and the more you pay attention to doing the right stuff, the less likely it is you'll end up like several countries in the West who think of themselves very highly and have done unbelievably poorly. So good luck, guys. I hope somebody enlightened gets a hold of the controls pretty soon. And it's actually, I think Japan. Let's see. Now Myanmar is also having a problem. I mean, now Malaysia is also having some problems, and they've been acquiring vaccine, AstraZeneca, I believe. And I believe Vietnam is closed all right now. Although the border between us and Burma is like the furthest out in the deep dark woods you've ever been, times at least 10. It's very rugged terrain, very limited views, and in some places you can wade across the river between Thailand and Burma. And I do say Burma instead of Myanmar. I know I've got friends from Burma. I've never heard them call themselves anything but Burmese. So that if I'm confusing you by saying both things, I didn't mean to do it. Now I'd love to be able to tell you what's going to go on in the next week, but the newspapers and the various media outlets often get to report on what might happen, but rarely have any concrete information until it happens. So that's where we're going through another cycle of that right now. And they may go to a larger shutdown in Bangkok. The place where the seafood market was that sparked the outbreak is shut down. The provincial governor has COVID himself. And I think now there's 22 or more cases in Bangkok itself, but that's one province over. Both provinces have got some shoreline and do a lot of the fish market trade in their markets. And the county government says the seafood is okay, but don't go hang out in that province. There are some other proposed restrictions to interprovincial travel. And although the numbers here in Chiang Mai have been very low, they did have a celebration here, and the outbreaks, if any, will be 5 to 14 days ahead of us. So how much damage they did by trying to stay open is not determinable at this point. Well, I want to give a big shout out today to subscribers Bill in Australia and Stan in Alabama. Have a great one, guys. And to all the rest of the subscribers, bless you guys. Stay safe. I'm hoping every one of you gets through this thing with no problems, but hang in there. It's very crazy, and fighting what medical experts are telling you, I don't think that's a great idea. Everybody be good or don't get caught. It's been my pleasure to speak with you today. This is Bob saying, see ya.